live here from Michigan International Speedway. Here in Brooklyn, Michigan, the Slide Job Racing League race number 1 of the playoffs. This is the Max Papis 180. Josh Coppernoll alongside Dawson Allen here. Dawson, how you doing?
Josh, I'm doing fantastic. Tonight should be a good one. Michigan does not disappoint here in the Slide Job Racing League. We've had some pretty fun races on these bigger super speedway style racetracks, I should say, like Auto Club in Michigan. So it should prove to be a very fun race tonight. Definitely looking forward to it.
Of course, we all know how much I love this racetrack. This is my home track, and yeah, I love watching races here. I love racing here as well. I don't think it loves me racing here so much. Might be why I'm in the booth tonight, but no, this track, it does produce some great racing, and I think we're going to see a really good one tonight, especially with it being the first race of the playoffs here for the Slide Job Racing League.
Yeah, it should prove to be fun. Just kind of looking back to see how these races have gone and how all of our drivers have fared at Michigan. We got a couple previous winners at this racetrack in the field for tonight's race. Looking to see through the field, Dylan Parker, he is in this field. He is currently 13th fastest. Currently 13th fastest here on the speed charts, excuse me. He was the winner at this track back in season number 6. So he's one of our few previous race winners that is in the field here tonight. But the most recent winner at Michigan was back in season 9, back in season 10, excuse me, that being Mark Frimpong. Not racing tonight. Season 9's winner, the champion of season 9, Dalton Kilrose. So we'll see how things play out here tonight for the field. But so far, only one former winner is in the field here tonight.
As practice is over, we're going to qualifying. And we wait to see who goes out. It looks like it's going to be Michael Thorpe Jr., first one off pit road. Thorpe is a playoff driver. You see playoff markings on his car. Be the red banner, red splitter, and red spoiler. Also, big shout out to C2 Graphics and Cameron Caldwell for updating this theme, the ATVO theme today. You'll notice on the ticker some different colored numbers for some guys' backgrounds at least. Those with red and black are the playoff drivers. Those that are just solid red are drivers not fighting for the playoff. So Thorpe, he's going to come off turn 4 to complete lap number 1. And it is a 39.861. Brad Bennett to the top of the board, though, a 39.367. Thorpe's going to come across the line. It's going to be not an improvement.
Another driver set a lap time, another playoff driver. Jeffrey Armistead goes fourth fastest, a 39.494 for the O2 machine. He is a season opener winner at Daytona here to kick off season 11. Locked himself in the playoffs a couple weeks ago, so he's been kind of riding that momentum, hoping to cruise along into this playoffs. Now, the format for the playoffs in the Slide Job Racing League is a bit different than what you see in real life. Here's how. We are going to start off with 10 drivers here, and we are going to run 4 races. We have this race here at Michigan. We've got Watkins Glen. We've got the Old Atlanta, and then we close it all off at Talladega. After those 4 races, the top 4 in points, no matter what, it is not a case of winning or anything. No, the top 4 in points at the end of these 4 weeks will go on to race for a championship at Homestead. So it's going to be really crucial to have good runs in these races for all of our playoff drivers to make sure that they can make a run for this championship.
Kruger goes to the top of the board. Jonathan Parker coming across the line. Complete lap number 1. Parker, P1, 39.246.
Your defending series champion there. He had a good run at the last Track Like This Auto Club to close out his Season 10 championship. And then also earlier this season, a good run. He has had a very, very, very good season, but has yet to find victory lane, which is what shocks me the most about this 48 team. They have been so good all season long, been able to put themselves up there at the end of these races, but just cannot seem to break through and find victory lane. Coming into this regular season finale last week, he was second in points to Luke Knupp, but he's had a really, really strong season.
And I'll be honest, I'm really surprised as well at Parker, the fact that Parker does not have a win this season yet. But speaking of Luke Knupp, he's rolling off pit road.
He is going to roll off of pit road here. Your regular season champion here in season 11. It's been a breakout year since that last season. He came in and went and made his way to the championship for last season in season 10. He did not run that race at Auto Club, but he came back better than ever, notching off 4 wins across this season. His most recent win coming at Wilkesboro 2 weeks ago, a second place finish at Chicagoland. I mean, it has been so impressive to see this 5 machine and what he's been able to do all season long. I mean, he's got an average finish right now of 3.17. It's unreal how good he's been. He's got 2 finishes outside of the top, outside of the top 7, really. And that being a 10th place finish at Nashville and the 11th place finish to open the season. It has just been an impressive drive by this number 5 machine. That time he'll cross the stripe and he will go fastest on the speed chart to 39.211. Puts that 5 on the top of the charts here with just a few minutes to go here in qualifying. 3 drivers that have yet to go out and put a lap time down. I'm not sure if they will. That's Ryan Bogey, Robert Lukens, and JT Larsh. But Luke Knupp, fastest so far here in qualifying, likely going to stand as this qualifying continues to tick on.
Let's take Moreno out there coming across. Okay.
Close enough.
Well, he nailed it. The pit wall, I mean.
Christian Pacheco slightly improves his time, goes to a 39.466. That puts him 11th ahead of Doug Denise. Pacheco came so close to making it into the playoffs this season. Came up just short at the end, did not have enough to get by Michael Kruger, who did not run last week. So that's going to end up 11th place qualifying effort for that 88 machine. But just looking through our playoff field that we have this season, some of these guys, of course, have made the playoffs before, have been in the situation. Dylan Parker, multiple seasons he has made the playoffs, but he is making a return to the playoffs. He was supposed to be he was in last season, but he ended up eliminating himself from the chance of racing for a championship. He's going to look for some vengeance on that one tonight. Right now, as it sits, he's starting third, but he has made a multitude of playoff appearances here in the Slide Job Racing League. Looking back through the history of the league and how far he's gotten along, he has been there in the playoff hunt, in the championship hunt for a long time. So it's not shocking to see him, getting ready to go for his next run at a championship. Luke Nupp, we mentioned your Final Four appearance last season, looking to capitalize on that with the regular season championship. Jonathan Parker, last season's champion, coming into this race, looking to see what he can do, try to capitalize and get that first win and try to work his way towards defending his title. Ethan Fonseca Moreno's made the playoffs last year. Michael Thorpe Jr. had a really good chance to advance to the Final Four last year until his early race incident at Talladega. But then you look at some of the other names too. Michael Kruger, Brett Bennett, Jeffrey Armistead. All three of those drivers are making their first appearance in the playoffs here in the Slide Job Racing League. So we've got some guys that have got some history running in these playoffs and racing for this championship. And we got some guys that are making their first ever attempt at going for a title here at Michigan.
And what a place to kick off the playoffs as well. Michigan is the manufacturer's backyard. It's also, just a fun place overall with wide racing, 18 degrees of banking. Uh, these B class cars or Xfinity cars, as we know them from NASCAR, they drive so differently, and you're gonna see. I think you're gonna see some fun racing tonight.
It should put on a good show. We've seen many good shows at these type of tracks, Auto Club and Michigan. So I definitely think we're going to have a fun one here tonight to kick off this season 11 playoff hunt.
Qualifying is coming to a close, and we're gonna get ready for some racing. 90 laps is the distance, 180 miles. The Max Papis 180. And before we go through our starting grid, Dawson, who you got? Who's your pick?
Man, it's a hard pick. There's a lot of good drivers in the field, a lot of guys that I think have a chance to get it done. I mean, if you're asking me for a top three bet, obviously the favorite would be Luke Nupp to at least score a top three finish. But as far as winning this race, I'm going to go with a bit of wild card. I'm going to go with the 81 of Michael Kruger. I feel like he has been due for a win in this league for quite a while. He's had a lot of good runs. I think tonight he's able to finally capitalize on that good run and park it in victory lane here tonight.
You left the door wide open for me to pick Luke Nupp, but I'm not. And we keep talking about it every week. For the past few weeks, we keep talking about how this guy has yet to score a win this season. And, I think it's time. I think today is the day Mr. Champion, defending champion, Jonathan Parker, finds victory lane. Not to mention, I do believe that is a scheme. He's been running schemes all season long that Jimmy Johnson has won with at that specific track. 2014, June of 2014, Father's Day, was the only win Jimmy Johnson ever got at Michigan International Speedway. I remember that very well, actually. Jimmy Johnson said he's found a ton of ways to lose at this track. He's ready to win one. Well, I'm telling you, Jonathan Parker, he's found a ton of ways to lose this season. I think he's ready to win one.
Yeah, a lot of the times it's just been a case of somebody else outrunning him or just flat out strategy calls making the difference. And that's what we've kind of seen throughout the season, especially with the likes of Luke Nutt being able to get the best of him most of the time this season. But we'll see how things shake up. But they're rolling off pit road. Josh, what do you say we take a look at our JCTV starting grid?
Yeah, once it loads. But Luke Nupp is on the pole. Jonathan Parker is outside. Dylan Parker will start third. Michael Kruger fourth. Dane Cruz fifth. Oscar Enriquez will start sixth. Brett Bennett seventh. Austin J. McGill eighth. Noah Mayery ninth. Micah Walls will start 10th.
Back in row number 6 is going to be the 88 of Christian Pacheco. To his outside will be the 40 of Doug Denise. Jeffrey Armistead, one of your playoff drivers, starts all the way back in. 13th spot in row 7 next to Hunter Karsten to his outside. Jared Wilson, Jake Scarborough making up row number 8 in the field. Row 9 sees Darren Roy and Gabe Cazzola. And running out your top 20, it's going to be Ethan Fonseca Moreno. A deep start in the field for one of our playoff drivers. And Zachary Wareham in the 07/27/ whatever number he's running this week.
Rounding out the field is going to be Michael Thorpe Jr., JT Larsh, and they're both row 11. In row 12, Ryan Bogey and Robert Lucas.
And you notice 2 playoff drivers back in the field. Ethan Fonseca Moreno, Michael Thorpe Jr. did not post good qualifying runs. They're going to have to claw their way to the front of the field if they want a chance at winning this one here tonight.
The field in the hands of Luke Nupp. Set pace car pulls down pit road. And green flag is waving. We are underway here at MIS. Jonathan Parker, Luke Nupp side by side all throughout turns 1 and 2. Parker had a really good run. Luke Nupp going to clear Jonathan Parker though.
Got some 3-wide action to the back of the field. 4-wide now in the back. Ethan Fonseca Moreno in a 4-wide situation. Darren Roy, Gabe Cazzola, Hunter Karsten all around him right there. Very tight situation for the 43 here in the early laps of this race, but he gets through, navigating his way to the front, already up to 15th, battling now with Jake Scarborough.
And going to look to put it 3-wide with Scarborough and Denise. Struggling to make anything work here. He's going to look on the apron, but Denise planted right on that bottom. Jeffrey Armistead running the high line side by side with Brett Bennett. A couple teammates.
Both making their first playoff appearance here in the Slide Job Racing League. Armistead, of course, the winner at Daytona to open the season. Brett Bennett, second place run in that race alongside him. They are both looking to have some good runs tonight. Brett is very excited about this racetrack. He has a lot of high prospects for his runnings in this race. Right now in a battle for the 12th spot with Noah Mayery to his outside, looking to see if he can try to keep pushing forward. But right now, 76, excuse me, is going in the wrong direction, going backwards instead of forwards.
And now he's side by side with Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Moreno already up 5 positions from where he started, and still looking for more. Enriquez looking to move up a position. I'm sorry, actually, he just lost position to Dylan Parker. Dylan Parker fell back to 6th. Was able to get around Oscar Enriquez. Now Parker trying to put the pressure on Michael Kruger.
Ethan Fonseca Moreno continuing to climb through the leaderboard, now battling with Noah Mayuri for this 12th spot to his outside of the 8 machine. Noah Mayuri, of course, made the playoffs again this season, a 2-time series champion in the Slide Job Racing League. Looking to see if he's got one more title run in him. We'll see what this 8 can do in these 4 weeks here, trying to make a push for a championship.
Battle for second. Dane Cruz underneath Jonathan Parker. Dane Cruz actually going to pass Jonathan Parker, get into P2.
And you see on that one machine adorned with that yellow banner, that is a Dash for Cash driver. He is not a playoff driver. He is actually in the Dash for Cash here tonight. Looking to see if he can win some extra money. But right now, running in that second spot right there with Luke Nupp and Jonathan Parker. He's got a pretty good run going for him, too.
Parker was trying to make the move back, get back in P2. Just didn't work out for him. There is Parker currently going to have to ride in third. But Dane Cruz, he's looking to try to make a pass on Luke Nupp, take over the race lead. Fonseca Moreno has entered the top 10. Currently chasing Michael Walls. Meanwhile, Christian Pacheco and Austin J. McGill side by side for what is the 7th position. McGill rolling that bottom line. Pacheco trying to make something happen on the outside. These two just can't figure it out, but it looks like Pacheco actually going to finally clear McGill, and now Walls able to clear McGill as well very quickly. So even Fonseca Moreno to the outside of McGill now. Moreno, he's on a mission. Dane Cruz still putting pressure on race leader Luke Nupp though. Still unable to make a pass work. Dylan Parker has gotten around Michael Kruger for the 4th position. Moreno looking underneath Michael Walls now. These three know each other very well. Pacheco, Walls, Moreno. Oh, Moreno might have caught the wall.
Caught the wall that little bit, slowed up his momentum now, chasing back down Michael Walls and Christian Pacheco. He's going to have Austin J. McGill now trying to wrap around the outside and see if he can get back by the 43 here. as they come across out of turn 2. Moreno's going to have to try to defend now instead of be on the offense.
Yeah, I was noticing that it looks like Pacheco, Walls, and Moreno all got on the gas too soon. We're looking real tight exiting that corner. I think Moreno was just a little bit tighter than everybody else. Fast for the lead, though. Dane Cruz got around looping up. Put that Cruz missile out front.
Dane Cruz, no stranger to victory lane here in the Slide Job Racing League. Of course, a very, 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 very fast driver that #1 machine is. He's mentioned the Cruz missile. They don't call him that for nothing. He is definitely looking to see for a win and pick up a dash for cash tonight. He's got 6 wins on his career in the Slide Job Racing League. He's looking to add to it. Of course, he's not been really full-time this season. He's been kind of part-time, bouncing back and forth from racing and not racing these races, but we'll see what he can do. But I got a situation back here. They're 3 wide for 8th. Michael Walls, Christian Pacheco, Ethan Fonseca, Moreno. Moreno was in the middle of the 2. Pacheco gets the advantage heading into 3, but there is a 4-car battle brewing here in the back between Pacheco, Walls, McGill, and Moreno.
Walls going to the outside. 3 wide once again. Walls gets out of it. 2 by 2, 2 rows deep. Moreno trying to get around all these guys. McGill actually almost making contact with Michael Walls. Oh, a little bit of contact there between Pacheco and Moreno.
Moreno, though, is working on Pacheco for 7th. If he can clear him, that'll make that number 43 machine move up 12 spots from the drop of the green flag. The biggest mover so far this race. Second biggest mover tonight, Michael Thorpe Jr., another playoff driver, currently up to the 14th spot back here in the background, working on Brett Bennett, who has plummeted through the rankings, down 6 spots from the drop of the green flag at 76, is fighting hard to keep some momentum going here with Noah Mayeri just up ahead of him. 3 playoff drivers, actually 4 with Armistead as well, all right back here just outside the top 10.
So even Fonseca Moreno was able to get around Christian Pacheco. But going back to your point, I am surprised to see that 11, 12, 13, and 14, Armistead, Bennett, Mary, Thorpe, these playoff drivers are outside the top 10. Meanwhile, Dane Cruz, Oscar Enriquez, Chris Pacheco, Michael Walls, they're not playoff drivers, but they are inside the top 10.
Yeah, and just because they're not playoff drivers doesn't mean anything. They are still here to race for wins. Somebody like Christian Pacheco, we've seen before, have good runs at these big style tracks. The big breakout performance, I'd say, for him on JCTV came at this very racetrack all the way back in Season 2 for the In the Pits News Truck Series. That was his first coming out race where he showed up and showed out, had a really, really good run in that race, led some laps, mixing it up out front throughout the day. But, you know, we've kind of seen him have these runs kind of putting back together where he's been able to make moves to the field and maybe even challenge for wins. Right now, up in 8th. Still a little struggle. Right next to him, though, is Michael Walls, a 4-time winner on JCTV. That number 9 machine, 2 times a winner in this league. He's looking to see if he can add win number 3 tonight here at Michigan.
Looping up, despite losing the lead to Dane Cruz, does not allow Cruz to get away at all. Looping up, still just under 0.2 of a second behind Dane Cruz. And that time by through 1 and 2, it looked like running a lane higher than what Dane Cruz is, trying to get that clean air on the nose of the 5 machine.
Nupp is not, yeah, Luke Nupp's still right there with Dane Cruz not going away. That 5 is still wanting to fight. They have started a gap. Jonathan Parker about maybe a half a second back from this race. Leaders another half a second back. Finds our 4th place driver, Dylan Parker, in the 3 machine. Dylan, the most winningest driver in Slide Job Racing League history. He is looking for career win number 25 if he can score it tonight. But of course, these stats are probably misconstrued. They only go back to season 5. But it'll be interesting to see. Tonight is the night if Dylan can at least make the stat sheets show win 25.
Luke Nupp made a move underneath Dane Cruz. Wasn't able to keep it down there. Push Dane Cruz into 3. Three wide. Michael Kruger, Michael Walls, and even Fonseca Moreno. Kruger backed out of it. Walls actually able to complete the pass on both of them. Let's put Walls in 6th place.
Driver radio just came over. Michael Thorpe Jr. has completed the pass for 13th on Brett Bennett. Brett essentially just said, see if you can get by him. In reference to Noah Mayuri running in 12th right now, the 2-time series champion, proving to be a real Ryan Newman out there, it seems like, for Brett Bennett.
Be side by side is Thorpe and Mayuri. Thorpe almost clear. He is. Now Bennett. He's trying to make the move.
That tracks with what he just said over the radio for sure, Josh. He wanted Thorpe to make the pass, and he said, I'll follow you. So he is going to follow the 34 of Michael Thorpe Jr., and they both will clear the 8 of Noah Mayuri now. It's just perfect how that works. Brett asked for some help, and he got some help in the form of getting by Noah Mayuri. So right now, as it stands, the last running scored playoff driver is the 8 machine of Noah Mayuri, all the way back in 14th here. As they continue on, the laps ticking down as we approach lap 26 in this race. It's still Dane Cruz leading, but the 2nd through 4th, they're all right there next to each other now.
Jonathan Parker trying to pass Luke Nupp. Dylan Parker also in the picture. Jonathan Parker rolling the outside line, trying to make something happen out there. He's got the momentum. And Parker, not quite clear. He's clear now.
Luke considered trying back to the bottom. Thought better of it, went to the top side there in 1 and 2. The 5 machine now drops back to 3rd. And he'll have Dylan Parker and Oscar Enriquez not too far behind to try to challenge for that spot. Looking back a little further in the field, got drivers like Michael Kruger, Christian Pacheco, Austin J. Miguel right here, 8th through 10th. So we'll see how it shakes up. It sounds like we've got some pit stops coming up here, though. Our driver just called over the radio, pitting this time by. So we'll see who elects to be the first to come down pit road.
Darren Roy. Dylan Parker able to get around Luke Nupp, but Dylan in third.
And that puts Luke Nupp in fourth. That is the lowest running position he's ever had all this season, it seems like, with how much he's been in front. Now under fire from Oscar Enriquez in the 56 machine. Let's see if he'll drop back to fifth here, maybe.
One thing Oscar is so good at is being so patient. Running up front, top 5 right now, in 5th place. Just being so patient.
We've got some guys coming to pit road. Leader Dane Cruz is on. Luke Nupp, Oscar Enriquez. It looks like Ethan Fonseca, Moreno, Austin, J. McGill, and I believe that's Michael Thorpe Jr. Pit stops underway here. The fuel window has opened. We're going to see a lot of guys coming to pit road in these next 2 laps.
And this also kind of cuts the race in thirds. Pitting here.
It'll be close. So some of the drivers were saying that they think it's going to be a 3-stopper perhaps instead of just a straight shot 2-stop race. It's going to really come down to how the fuel mileage works out on these runs for these drivers. But it looks like right now Jonathan Parker is setting up to come to pit road this time. Indeed, he is. Slowing it down, there's Michael Walls, Michael Kruger, Christian Pacheco, Jeffrey Armistead. I think Michael Kruger might have just slid it. Pacheco comes in too hot. Michael Kruger is on pit road. Not sure what happened. He just kind of disappeared for a bit there. But everybody is, at least seems like, has made it to pit road okay. Of those that have pit, 2 drivers yet to come to pit road. That is the 3 of Dylan Parker and the 76 of Brett Bennett. They have yet to make their stops.
And Dylan Parker going to come in this time. Brett Bennett also going to come in this time. So that's going to hand the lead back to Dane Cruz. And I think the biggest winner out of this is Luke Nupp, who gained a couple of positions back up to P2. Of course, once things cycle around, Parker and Bennett still first, second. They are still on pit road.
Big thing here to see as well. 3rd place, Oscar Enriquez, a good winner as well. He pit with the leaders when they came down, comes out 3rd. So that 56 machine, a good, impressive run, but also Ethan Fonseca Moreno up to 4th.
I think the big loser there is Jonathan Parker, currently P6. Jason Austin, J. McGill.
So an update too as well. Michael Kruger back in 11th place right now, coming to pit road. He said his computer charger unplugged, and that was what was causing all those issues. It cost him a little bit of time as well. He drops back to 11th after he was up there mixing it up for about 6th and 7th. So the 81's going to have a bit of an uphill battle to climb as this race continues on.
Battle between Thorpe and Pacheco. Pacheco able to get ahead of Thorpe. Jeffrey Armistead and Michael Kruger right here, battling for the 10th position. They're also right behind Thorpe. Let's see if Kruger can get himself a twofer. He's going to tuck back in the line. Now once again, side by side is Kruger and Armistead. Drove it in a little deep there. Trying to get side by side with Thorpe. Ultimately, gonna have to tuck in behind Jeffrey Armistead here.
As this battle rages on, a battle for 30 is brewing. Ethan Fonseca Moreno was catching the 56 of Oscar Enriquez here as they come down the back straightaway. Within 0.2 of a second is the gap between the 56 and the 43. Moreno, of course, showed that speed early on in this race, making his way through the field, picking them off one by one right now in a good spot, looking to see if he can get by this 56 and put himself on the podium.
Moreno has been a rocket this race so far. Still not able to make that move on Oscar Enriquez. Go to a battle back in, looks like for 11th. Michael Kruger actually was able to get into 9th. Thorpe has 10th. Michael Walls just got around Jeffrey Armistead. Michael Walls now continuing to move up. He's going to get past Michael Thorpe Jr.
Another battle as well. Battle for 6. Dylan Parker, Austin J. McGill still right there with each other. I think Parker just made the pass on Austin J. McGill. Now we'll see if that 21 can keep pace with him. Does not seem like he can. So move Dylan Parker up to the 6th spot. We got a 3-wide situation out back. Noah Mayuri is in the mix of all this in 17th, way back from the rest of the playoff drivers as well. He is battling with Jared Wilson, Gabe Cazzola. That was Darren Roy and Ryan Bogie around him as well. He is fighting to kind of try to keep up in this battle here. Another playoff driver even further back, the number 76 of Brett Bennett, is 20th right now on the racetrack. He stayed out that extra time and pit late, along with the 5 of Luke Dupp, excuse me. Or no, he said Dylan Parker. I've got it all backwards. Dylan Parker's who he stayed out with. Dylan Parker, of course, capitalized up to 6th. Brett Bennett, however, went the wrong way again, all the way back in 20th.
Michael Thorpe Jr. He's currently holding on. He was trying to make a pass back on Michael Wallace, get back into the 10th position. Right now, Jeffrey Armistead just kind of holding his own, but also right there where he can make a move on Thorpe.
Battle is ongoing for 4th. Ethan Fonseca Moreno defending against Jonathan Parker, who is there on his inside, the 48 and the 43. They've got plenty of history with each other. They've known each other for a while, now racing for this 4th spot. This stems from the inability to pass Oscar Enriquez by Ethan Fonseca Moreno. That's allowed both Jonathan and Dylan Parker to catch up to this 43 machine as they continue to battle here, entering 3 and 4 side by side. Looks like Jonathan Parker trying to clear and will for now for 4th over Ethan Fonseca Moreno.
Ethan looked for the crossover and he got it side by side, but I don't know. I think Jonathan's too far ahead. Might be able to keep it up there. Well, he's not. They are neck and neck. Ethan Fonseca Moreno gets stuck in the line behind Jonathan Parker.
Another 2 drivers still locking horns in battle. Back for 11th, Jeffrey Armistead, Michael Thorpe Jr. These two have not been able to get away from each other. They have been together since this green flag cycle has concluded. Thorpe would cross over, get to the inside of Armistead and make the move, and then Thorpe would get crossed back over, and Armistead would go back through. They are still battling right now. Armistead holds the 11th spot, but Thorpe is still right there on his back bumper.
These guys, playoff drivers, they know how much every point matters here.
Battle for 3rd. Here comes Jonathan Parker to the inside of Oscar Enriquez.
Going to allow Ethan Fonseca Moreno to get back up there into the picture. See if Moreno plays offense back on Jonathan Parker.
It's also bringing Dylan Parker in that 3 machine that is currently riding in the 6th spot. He is now right within this battle. It's also pulling up the 21 of Austin J. McGill. We're going to have a 5-car battle here shortly for this 3rd place position if anyone's able to get past the 56 of Oscar Enriquez.
Fonseca Moreno was looking low. Jonathan Parker pulled down to the bottom. Now he's going to be side by side with Oscar Enriquez, driving it in deep. He's going to slide up in front of Enriquez. Enriquez wanted to try to cross over, but Ethan Fonseca Moreno was there.
Now Moreno to the inside of the 56. Finally going to get by him, but it's going to be 4th still as Jonathan Parker was able to get ahead of them both throughout all of this. And again, Austin J. McGill right here in the tire tracks of it all, as well as Dylan Parker. That is bringing them in here. 2 more playoff drivers to get in the mix for some more points, trying to get by that 56 of Oscar Enriquez.
Halfway through this race, 45 down, 45 to go, about to hit 44. Stain Cruz is just cruising top of this field. We're going to step away. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to miss moment of the action as we're going side by side.
Every sip gets you closer. It's Justin Timberlake MP3s.
Hey.
Hey to you. A chance to meet Jeff Gordon.
You okay, Justin?
Millions of songs from Amazon MP3 and more. Sign up at PepsiStuff.com.
Oh, look at Kyle Busch out there.
Yeah, he is all over the track.
I mean, what has gotten into him today?
Oh, that cannot be good.
Oh, unbelievable.
Whoa, look out.
Wait a minute. Is Kyle in reverse?
Yeah, you don't see that every day. Okay, that is bad,
man.
bad driving.
Oh, this is not like Kyle at all.
Are we winning?
I thought you were looking.
M&M's makes race day more fun.
What is Kyle thinking?
Right side tire chase filling full of fuel, and you heard the instruction.
Right tires only. Right tires only.
Hey guys, it's Jonathan from JCTV. Here at JCTV, we currently broadcast 3 series. On Tuesdays, you'll catch the Slide Job Racing League featuring drivers such as Dalton Kilroe, Dane Cruz, and Jonathan Parker.
And real quick, we are 3 wide for the race lead. Hawkins, Wygent, Hapiak, they went 4 wide for a moment with a lap car.
On Fridays, you'll see the NAOR series featuring Nick Hapiak, Chris Wright, and Josh Arnold. As that happens, here comes the 5 through the middle right now. He's going to force the issue and take it
4
3
wide! 4 wide!
God.
What a move by Justin Durand to go to the race lead!
On Saturdays, you can find the In the Pit News Truck Series featuring Justin Durand, Zach Probst, and Ethan Fonseca Moreno. To book JCTV for your own league, please visit us at jctvracing.com and contact us for your booking. Remember, race fans, you can always watch racing live or anytime over at JCTV's YouTube channel.
We welcome you back here to Michigan International Speedway for race number 1 of the Slide Job Racing League playoffs. And watch the battle between Michael Kruger and Christian Pacheco. There's almost some contact between the two, and Michael Walsh trying to take advantage of that as well.
Yeah, heavy battling between these guys in the back of the pack. Another pass as well up ahead. Dylan Parker has gotten by Ethan Fonseca Moreno as this battle continues to heat up. Michael Walls to the inside of Michael Kruger trying to get by him for this 8th spot. Side by side they go, exiting 4.
Jeffrey Armistead enters the picture trying to do something as well with all of this. Right now, Michael Walls still down underneath Michael Kruger, who's holding strong on that outside line, but he's going to prevail off too. I think it might be Kruger trying to pinch Walls down. He does, it works. Walls tucks back in the line. Jeffrey Armistead trying to make a move on Pacheco, enter the top 10.
And look who he's brought with him too. Michael Thorpe Jr., the 34 machine as well, back in the picture with this battle. It's a 5-car group as they continue on, but battle for second as well is heating up. Here comes Jonathan Parker now on Luke Knupp. Then Oscar Enriquez trying to fend off Dylan Parker as well.
Pretty much nobody is out by themselves except that one machine of Dane Cruz. Almost at a 2-second lead over Luke Knupp. Could be a little bit larger here if these two of Luke Knupp and Jonathan Parker start battling side by side. Jonathan Parker underneath Luke Knupp. They're going to be even exiting 4. But now Luke Knupp has momentum. Parker drives it in. He's going to clear Luke up. Now let's see if Jonathan Parker can do anything. Chase down Dane Cruz. I do expect, though, pit stops to be happening in the next 4 laps-ish.
Yeah, we're coming up on that next march, that next threshold of lap 60. We'll see what happens when we hit that lap, how many of these drivers are going to pit. It's an estimate that it should be a 2-stop race, obviously. It wants to be a perfect 30-30-30, but it's probably not going to work out that way since they have been out here, have been pushing, instead of having that one pace lap that they had to start this race. So it's likely we might see some guys get really close here at the end of this race.
I think really need to spend this run kind of saving some fuel. Jake Scarborough will be the first one entering pit road.
Another driver back behind. I think Darren Roy also coming to pit road. No call-outs yet of anybody else going to pit road, so we'll see how it pans out. But we have got pretty much 2 separate packs in of itself. We've got second all the way back to 6th. That is Parker, Luke Knupp, Oscar Enriquez, Dylan Parker, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, Austin J. McGill loosely straggling behind. But then you go further back from 8th all the way back to about 12th. That's going to be Michael Walls, Michael Kruger, Michael Thorpe, Jeffrey Armstead, Christian Pacheco all right there together. And then even further back, Jared Wilson's got Gabe Pizzola, Ryan Bogey, and Noah Mayeri right there with them. But, you know, the one loose straggler by himself right now, Brett Bennett is 18th. He is still well off the field. 13 seconds, now 14 seconds back from race leader Dane Cruz. He is going to need a bit of a miracle if he wants to get back in the fight of this thing. Oscar Enriquez, Ethan Fonseca Moreno going to pit. Here comes Dane Cruz as well, the 21, Austin J. McGill, Michael Thorpe Jr. as well on pit road. So there are the starts of your pit stops, and I think the strategy move is to pit with Dane Cruz. I mean, he's been the class of the field. Why not pit with that one machine?
Zachary Wareham pit that time as well, and he was flying.
Next time by, the 48, Jonathan Parker's going to be pitting. It looks like Luke Knupp is going to slow down and pit along with him. I believe Dylan Parker's going to stretch it this extra lap like he did last time. Indeed, he will. So Dylan Parker will remain your race leader. Michael Walls coming in this time. Michael Kruger, Jeffrey Armstead pitting. Armstead having a bit of trouble getting it woe down.
Oh!
Kruger! Aggressive entry by Michael Kruger, but looking back, we've got 4 drivers that have yet to pit. Dylan Parker, Christian Pacheco, Noah Mayeri, Brett Bennett stay out this time. They're going to go for one more lap before they go back out there.
And Dylan Parker.
Dylan Parker stays out an extra lap. It looks like the rest of them are going to bail out. Christian Pacheco is pitting. Brett Bennett came over the radio and called out pitting as Noah Mayeri pulls as well. Dylan Parker going to stretch this one extra lap. But I got to say, Josh, with the belief that we might have to make a third stop, we can't make it all the way. I mean, he is going to make sure that he can make it as far as he can make it, if not all the way.
I'm still not really convinced that these drivers are going to need to make a third stop.
Should expect the 3 machine in here. Maybe not this time by. So Dylan Parker going to stay out an extra lap. Now, the tire difference, looking at the timing sheets right now for this, Dylan Parker is 2 seconds slower than Dane Cruz, Stephen Fonseca Moreno. He is 2 seconds slower staying out here. So it's definitely, an issue of he's going to lose time. Right now, I mean, he's also making sure that this pit stop ensures he'll make it to the end of this race without any question, and possibly even getting to any overtimes if we have any. As you see him pulling down to the bottom lane this time, probably an indication he is going to come down pit road. Indeed, he slows it up. Back behind him, there's 2 more drivers coming by him. That's Zachary Wareham and I believe Michael Thorpe Jr., but there's the 3 of Dylan Parker on pit road. So that'll cycle the lead back to Dane Cruz.
And he is 2.9 seconds ahead of Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Moreno kind of in his own island right now as well. About a second ahead of McGill. So Dylan Parker is pulling off pit road. Currently would be in 7th place. And he's going to have about 4 lap fresher tires. See how much this pays off for him.
He's able to get back up to speed here. He's got 4 cars coming behind Zachary Wareham. In the 27, there's Michael Thorpe Jr., Michael Kruger, and Michael Walls. Michael Kruger, however, is going to split the middle 3 wide. He'll take 2 for 1. What a move by Michael Kruger to get to the 8th spot.
Zachary Wareham still not scot-free. He's got Michael Walls underneath him. Now finally clear. Walls going to be underneath Thorpe. Wall's going to clear Michael Thorpe Jr. And now that 34 is looking low, but Thorpe going to stay right there behind Michael Walls.
It just seems like the battle is going to have to be for second at this point. Almost a 3-second advantage for Dane Cruz over Ethan Fonseca Moreno, who now finds himself getting tracked down by the 21 of Austin J. McGill. How about this appearance here by the 21 popping up in the picture here? He has been kind of back in the middle of the top 10, but now down the back half of this race, late stage of this race, he is up there mixing it up.
He's doing a great job, and he is going to take second away. Drove it deep down in turn 1. Moreno trying to hold on to third now as Parker looks to the inside. They're going to be side by side. Oh, McGill caught the wall off of 2.
They're going to go 3 wide here for second. Parker to the inside of Moreno. They're still 3 wide. Here comes Luke Knupp trying to split the middle. He's going to get by McGill as well. So McGill drops back to 5th. Luke Knupp, Ethan Fonseca Moreno, Jonathan Parker. All the benefactors there, but Parker gets away with second for now.
Luke Knupp looking underneath Ethan Fonseca Moreno. Knupp wants third. And he's got it.
Just a reminder of how absurd this season has been for the driver of the number 5, Luke Knupp. His 2 worst finishes were 10th and 11th this season. The 10th coming at Nashville, the 11th at Daytona. After that, he has finished at least top 3 in every other race. The 3rd place at Daytona Road Course is currently his 3rd worst finish.
I'll tell you who I need to get some driving lessons from.
We hit the stripe this next time, it will be 20 laps to go. A very long green flag run in this race. We have gone the distance so far from the drop of the green flag on lap number 1. It has been a lot of really good, really clean racing. I mean, there's not been too much chaos yet. I'm knocking on wood as I say all this, but it's been a very clean run, and it's just been pretty much an ebb and flow of how you were able to make things work. Right now, I'm seeing something too. Noah Mayuri has made some ground up. At the end of the cycle, he was about maybe 16th or 17th. He is now battling with Michael Thorpe Jr. here for 12th. He's got Zachary Wareham up ahead to try to pass as well to get closer and closer to a top 10. Jeffrey Armistead is back here in this mix as well. So, you know, these playoff guys back here, they have been able to kind of get some footing and try to battle back through the front.
And Mayuri going to make the pass on Thorpe. Mayuri in 12th. Ryan Bogey trying to make something happen.
And Ryan Bogey's a former Michigan winner here on JCTV. Not here in the Slide Job Racing League, but on JCTV. Bogey found victory lane in Michigan in Season 3 of the InPits News Truck Series. He's currently running in 14th. He's really kind of just been back here in this back half all race long. He's been trying to get up there and mix it up some more, but he's still had a pretty clean run as well. So, you know, kudos to that 35 team for putting on a good run. He's definitely had a couple moments this season where he's just not been able to get anything good going, but I noticed another driver on pit road. Hey, Austin J. McGill has pit here.
Interesting. Oh, he misses his box. Yes, back up.
Zachary Wareham's getting passed by a couple cars here now, too. He got put on the outside of that situation. He is dropping back. It looks like it's a scheduled stop, perhaps, for the 21 of Austin J. McGill. Interesting call, I guess, to try to see if he can beat everybody else that's going to have to pit if they have to pit. Pass for 4th. Dylan Parker gets by Ethan Fonseca Moreno.
I have to say, I'm a little confused. I always say I'm not a crew chief, and I'm glad I don't get put in crew chief's positions. But I really don't think you have to pit again.
We'll see if we can dig around and find out on that really quick here.
Dane Cruz scaring Roy a lap down. I think that's the first car he has passed on track to put a lap down. We have others that are laps down, but that's from pitting and a couple drivers that are out.
Yeah, Josh, I got a hold of the 21 team. Austin J. McGill said he was not going to be able to make it to the end of this race on fuel, so he figured he'd pit now and just see what he can get out of it. Instead of trying to push it all the way to the end, he figured just go ahead, take the hit now and see what happens. You see him coming up on the 96 of Darren Roy. That is for position. That is another car that is a lap down. So he is now the first car 1 lap down, this 21 machine is, but a very costly mistake. Not enough fuel in the car to make it to the end, had to pit one more time. So we'll see if he was the only one. The rest of the team from GGA said they were good as of right now, or that they were working on it. So fuel mileage is definitely going to play a factor tonight.
I'm wondering, Dawson, if it's a case of a couple of builds ago, iRacing brought out this auto fuel thing, and it's been known to kind of screw some people, if you will, where it doesn't put enough fuel in the car, or it puts what it thinks is enough, and ultimately it's not.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me time and time again. We'll see what happens to the rest of the field as this race continues on. We've got 13 laps to go, coming 12 to go this next time by. There you see Austin J. McGill is about to catch race leader Dane Cruz. He is faster, of course, than the race leader on fresher tires, so he's going to see about just getting by this one machine and getting his lap back. So if the caution does come out, he'll at least have a chance to catch back up with the field. But so far, I mean, coming to 12 laps to go, it's still been pretty clean.
Yeah, we've had zero cautions tonight. And we have 12 laps to go. Jonathan Parker has been cutting into that race lead. It is now 2.5 seconds of a difference. I wonder if Dane is a little worried about fuel.
It's gotta be the case. There's no way that he is not worried about fuel. It sounded like I heard an engine blow for a second there and panicked. I realized what it was. Jared Wilson currently scored 22nd, 18 laps down. He pulled onto pit road. He got out of the car, so the car is still on pit road, and the engine just blew. So that is what that was. He left the engine running, so it got hot and it blew up. We see that in iRacing all the time, so no concerns there. Battle for 11th, however, Gabe Cazzola working on Ryan Bogey. He's got Jeffrey Armistead right behind him as well, one of our playoff drivers. Just kind of a rundown through our playoff drivers in the field. Highest right now, Jonathan Parker in second. Luke Knupp is third. Dylan Parker back and fourth. Ethan Fonseca Moreno is in fifth. Then you got to go all the way back to Michael Kruger in eighth. Noah Mary is currently scored 10th. Jeffrey Armistead is 13th. Michael Thorpe Jr. is 14th. Brett Bennett is back in 15th. And then, of course, the issues for Austin J. McGill puts him as the last car of the playoff drivers in the field in 20th right now.
Things have kind of leveled out for that race lead. It is still about 2.4 seconds between Cruz and Parker. 10 laps to go. Oh, this is interesting.
Absolutely. It's going to come down to it here with 9 laps to go. It should be interesting to see how this plays out for all of our drivers here, especially if we have fuel concerns. I mean, with 9 laps to go, we're talking 31 laps for Dane Cruz since he last came down pit road. So, I mean, that's how long we saw Dylan Parker run, but it's a matter of can everybody else run that? We'll have to see.
The one thing that always comes to mind is Jonathan Parker. It always seems like he's good on fuel. So I want to say Jonathan Parker is good. We know Dylan Parker should be. Luke Knupp, of course, could at the same time as Jonathan Parker, but depending on what he did with the fuel, he could be in a position where he has to save.
Yeah, if there's anybody that has no sweat about this and can just keep pushing, it is the 3 of Dylan Parker, stretching out a little bit longer on that second run to make it to where he does not have to worry about saving any fuel. Was a good move by the 3 machine. Currently in 4th, has a chance to capitalize if the 148 and the 5 have any issues or run out of fuel. So Dylan's definitely looking to take advantage. You see him now making a move to the inside, trying to get by Luke Knupp for 3rd. Couldn't quite do it. But that 3 machine is going to be the one to watch more than anything.
am a little bit surprised. Dylan Parker is still sitting back and forth. He has made great work, though, out of staying out a little bit longer and trying to use those tires, those 3-lap fresher tires, to his advantage. It's not much, but that's 6 miles, and it does help.
Well, Josh, I went and talked to some of our drivers, some of the crews, to see what the situation is before we get to 5 to go. Dane Cruz is not close enough yet. He is going to be pushing it here. If not, he's not good. So this one machine is definitely going to be right there on the verge. Jonathan Parker, however, is confident that he is good to the end on fuel. Luke Knupp, confident as well. He is good. Dylan Parker, of course, we mentioned, is good. Ethan Fonseca Moreno is running it close, and Oscar Enriquez as well, back in 6th, is running it close as well. So bit of split feelings on how the fuel mileage is going to last for these guys in these final 5 laps.
One thing that comes to mind, the DI9 Designs and AR Series at Richmond, Jonathan Parker dominated that race. Jonathan Parker, if you look at the record books, did win that race, but he ran out of fuel, and it was a photo finish between him and Pacey Wygent. I was blown away with that. Now we look behind. Dylan Parker did get around looked up. I think Dylan says it is go time. He might have been listening to the broadcast and heard you say, Dane Cruz, don't know. Because here we go, Dylan Parker, a man on a mission.
They just cut 3/10 into that lead the last time by, did Dylan Parker. I don't know if he's saying that, I don't know if that was him saying it's go time, much more than it was a case of the 48 and the 5 are backing up a little bit in case they don't make it. Dylan can throw caution to the wind here because he pit so much later in this run. He is all but good to go on fuel, so he can kind of send it and go for whatever. But right now, the watch is on Dane Cruz. He is still out front by a good margin, still 2 seconds the gap with 3 laps to go. We've seen crazy things happen in these races. We're waiting to see if it closes out this time, but you see chewing into that race lead is Dylan Parker. Now it's down to 1.7 seconds.
Well, things have gotten heated.
Be a big cut in the lead this time by for Dylan Parker. Dane Cruz will cross the start-finish line here. He will get 2 laps to go with a 1.8 second buffer as it stands. Is he going to have enough fuel to make it? 2 more laps.
I think if he does, he wins this race. Couple drivers on pit road. It is Darren Roy and Jake Scarborough, of course. Remember, those 2 are the ones that started the pit cycle.
Dane Cruz is clutching into the corners big time. It's going to come down to this last lap here. It's a 1.4 second gap. Does he have enough fuel to make it? One final lap here in the Max Papis 180.
Gap 1.4 seconds back to Dylan Parker. If Cruz can make it, Cruz wins.
Down the back, it's still 1 second. He's just got to make it last through this corner. He's got half a second. He's out of fuel. Down on the apron. Dane Cruz is not going to make it. At turn 4, are you kidding? Dylan Parker at the line is going to score the win in the playoff opener. Dane Cruz out of fuel in the last lap. And Dylan Parker scoops up the win here in the Max Papis 180.
Wow.
Another driver out of fuel. Ethan Fonseca Moreno ran out coming to the line. He fades back to 9th.
what a finish. What a race. 0 cautions tonight, Dawson.
Yeah, we went flag to flag, wire to wire, no cautions. And we were able to see a fuel mileage race play out. And it all came down to that last corner there. Dane was just on fumes, entering the final corner, trying to manage that lead over Dylan Parker, but it just wasn't enough. Coming through turn 4, he runs out, and Dylan Parker is able to scoop by on the outside and pick up the victory here tonight in the Max Papis 180. A great run to the finish. And at the end of the day, Dylan Parker is going to go back-to-back. He won Chicagoland last week. He picks up now his 3rd win of Season 11 here at Michigan.
We watched Dylan Parker celebrate. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Dawson. Thank you so much for being here. I know you got to go. Pushing it a little bit longer to be here and call that race with me. So thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a blast here, getting a flag-to-flag, wire-to-wire race here in the Slide Job Racing League. What a run, what a finish. You couldn't ask for anything more out of a Michigan race like that, coming all the way down to the wire. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm excited for what's next on JCTV.
All right, well, Dawson, you have a great night, and we will see you. Well, I'll talk to you pretty soon, but we'll see you soon here on JCTV.
Yeah, we'll definitely figure it out.
So with that being said, we're going to take a quick look at our finishing results here. Dylan Parker, race winner. Jonathan Parker, P2, my pick to win. So close. Luke Knupp coming home 3rd. Dane Cruz 4th. Oscar Enriquez 5th. Michael Wall 6th. Michael Kruger 7th. Christian Pacheco 8th. Ethan Fonseca Moreno running out of fuel. He finishes 9th. Gabe Cazzola finishes 10th. Jeffrey Armistead, he finishes in 11th. Noah Mary 12th. Ryan Bogey 13th. Michael Thorpe Jr. 14th. Brett Bennett 15th. Zachary Wareham 16th. Doug Denise 17th. Hunter Carson 18th. Austin J. McGill, your last place scored playoff driver, finishes 19th. Jake Scarborough 1 lap down in the top 20. Crazy thing, we went wire to wire without a caution. 19 drivers finished on the lead lap. Darren Roy, 2 laps down, 21st. Jared Wilson, 22nd. And Robert Lukens, 23rd. JT Larsh did not race tonight. So, let's go ahead and talk to our 3rd place finisher. Hey Luke, how you doing?
We're doing all right.
3rd place finish tonight for you. You were so close. What was it like out there?
I was pushing hard the first run because just knowing how the league has been in the past, we really wouldn't ever get a green flag run. And then I was starting to save at the end of the 2nd run because I started to realize we're spread out. It might go green the rest of the way. So started to save, made an extra lap, pitted with Johnny, and then kind of just rode behind him. I knew Dane pitted a lap before me, and I was right on the money making it that he probably wouldn't make it. So kind of was just banking on still getting the top 3. Tried to keep it close enough to Johnny because I was in his draft the whole time, saving extra fuel. But Dylan just pitted 3 laps extra or later than all of us, so he definitely was class of field tonight. It sucks for Dane to not get the win like he deserved, but all in all, decent points day. Still pretty good looking for the Final 4.
All right, well, sponsor shout-outs. Who gets it done for you?
Yeah, for sure. Luke Up Racing, iRacing.funny, Moreno Designs for making this scheme, XPE, and then congrats to Dylan on the win, and then you guys, JCTV, for all you guys do, and Noah and everyone for putting the league on. Thanks.
All right. Third place finisher, Luke Nupp. And there we go. Finishing second is driver the number 48, Jonathan Parker. Jonathan, you were my pick to win. I said
yeah,
tonight,
that was the problem. I heard that on the grid.
I said tonight I think it's the time. And I mean, you had a great strategy going on there. But of course, pitting a couple laps sooner than Dylan Parker, do you think is that what made the ultimate difference with tires, or was it just a lot of fuel saving from you?
Oh, for sure. That's just kind of let him do whatever he wanted to do. I mean, I passed off to him because I couldn't have did that. If I would have tried to, I would have been so slow, and I probably would have barely been able to go as far as he did on that run. He did a really good job, outstanding. So congratulations to him. But yeah, it's good to kind of get back on track. I feel like I was kind of in a slump, kind of losing the handle a little bit, but I felt a lot closer today. Yeah, and the fuel, me thinking about fuel started on lap 0. So I was never really going as hard as I could, but yeah, it was a lot of fun to go out there and have a caution-free race, and did the best I can to come away with a win, but it was just about a second short.
Well, who do you have to thank? Who gets it done for you?
I'd like to thank Chris for making this paint scheme. Came back after Daytona, figured it deserved a better ride, and I thought I could make up for one of the Michigan races Jimmy should have won in this paint scheme in 2012 when he took the lead with 10 to go and then blew up with 5 to go when he was going to win. So I thought I could kind of get retribution about 11 years later. Couldn't quite do it, but gave it a good run. Had a lot of speed, so I'm happy about that. I'd like to thank everyone in the voice chat. I'm not going to name everyone, but y'all know who you are. I'd like to thank Luke. He raced me real nice, real clean. And Austin J. McGill, he raced me real nice, real clean. I know the strategy didn't go his way, but he's getting there. He's a good young racer. So, and I'd like to thank the Coke Racing family and Mellow Yellow.
All right, second place finish. Congratulations on strong to English is hard. Strong, a strong start to the playoffs.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a sore on my tongue, and so it's kind of hard to talk a little bit, and I'm just winging it. But we're doing all right. But anyway, I'm down victory lane with race winner Dylan Parker.
Hello?
Hi.
Oh, hey.
So, you're starting off the playoffs kind of, sort of, the same way. Well, not really. I was going to say kind of, sort of the same way you started off last season's playoffs, but on a strong note, we won't talk about that, though. We'll focus on this. So, immediately, you go out, you score a win, somehow, some way, to start off these playoffs.
Well, it was nice to come to this playoff round and not mess up like last season. This race was probably the most interesting slide job race we've had in a while. From the start of it, it looked like it was going to be a green flag race because everyone was spread out, and I just got that vibe from it, so I decided to go ahead and start saving some fuel in that first run to plan for the future. And it worked out. That last 10 laps, I was able just to chill out. My tires were golden, and whenever I decided to make the move, I was just able to make the move, and my tires let me do it. So it worked out.
So I did mention that I was surprised you were sitting in fourth at one point because I thought that once you got there, you just would have blown past them. So, I mean, did you just, like, I think you just said it, but were you just sitting there, riding around, waiting?
Yeah, I was sitting there riding around those two guys because the driving through the field from I think eighth, the fuel window got a little tighter for me, even though I pit so much later than everyone else. So I just sat there behind Luke and Ethan and saved my fuel, so I could push in those last few laps without having to worry about it at all. Because I think I had one lap left crossing the line compared to everyone else. Everyone else was sputtering coming to the line, so it worked out.
Did you think you had enough to beat Dane? Did you think Dane was not going to make it?
There was a solid 2 laps there. I was like, wow, because he was telling us he wasn't going to make it. So coming down to turn 4 or turn 3, I thought he had it because he hadn't started sputtering yet. I was a second back, and I wasn't going to catch him on raw pace. And he just yelled out he's sputtering. So I didn't know how quick he was going to start shaving off speed, but I thought he had the win there for a solid 40 seconds.
I kept saying that if he has enough fuel, he's going to win the race just because of the distance. And I actually told Dawson, go ahead and take us home. And the moment I did, I mean, Dane ran out, and Dawson called a beautiful finish there. But who do you have to think? Who gets it done for you behind that 3 machine?
Well, I just have to thank, PPM, Slide Job, everyone in the league, Noah Maori, William Martin, all the admins, and JCTV for having an awesome broadcast.
All right, well, congrats on the big win. Great way to start off the playoffs, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
Race winner, Dylan Parker, here at Michigan International Speedway for the Max Papis 180. Go ahead and take a look at our schedule. Next week is Watkins Glen. It's going to be a 1-hour race. So now, no laps. It'll be a timed race. We're going to see that 1 week from tonight. Atlanta, 2000, I believe it's technically the 2008 version, but same thing. It's the old Atlanta. Then we see Talladega, which will be the cutoff before having an off week and drivers racing for a championship at Homestead. So, another update. Dane Cruz. I was going to interview him. I don't know if he's available. But he did win the Dash for Cash race. And he will be in the Dash for Cash Championship, if you will. Dane Cruz actually has withdrawn from Dash for Cash competition next week. So next week, the 4 drivers going for the Dash for Cash is going to be Oscar Enriquez, Michael Walls, Chris Pacheco, and Gabe Cazola. So those drivers fighting for the money next week. Coming up on JCTV, though, we still have a couple more races this week. And on Thursday, we head to Atlanta, which will be the super speedway version of Atlanta. It's going to be 121 laps, 186 miles. And then Saturday night, the Blazer Sim Racing in the Pits News Truck Series, we head to Kentucky Speedway. There's plenty of action still coming up that you can catch right here on JCTV. That's going to do it for us tonight, though. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, we are very, very close to 500 subscribers. I can't thank all of you guys and the incredible team behind the scenes for helping us get this far and continue to grow in the future. Thank you guys so much for that. But we're going to sign off. We'll see you next week for race number 2 of playoffs for Season 11 of the Slide Job Racing League. Thanks to Dawson Allen and all the outstanding crew at JCTV. I'm Josh Coppernell, signing off. We'll see you next time.
Right now when it struggles to start, no, it won't turn over. But he was laughing when I signed the deal. The distance between point A and the end of the day, it feels like forever. Well, maybe I'm just asleep at the wheel, running on empty. Gas ain't cheap, can't change the tail light. There's something I can do for me. Oh, I'm fixing that damn wiper blade and I'm bleeding this thing today. I'm fixing that damn wiper blade and I'm seeing my way through the pain. I'm not mechanically inclined to know that I've got a flat while it drags to the shoulder. It's hard enough to keep my eyes on the road. And not sure if the gear's gonna hold. It's starting to smoke, but I can't pull over. Left foot on the gas and I'm almost home. Running on empty, caffeine drained. Can't change the station, but there's something